Okay, we're live to YouTube. Okay, one of our first parties to check in, and we're going to catch up, is we are going to call the case for between Alma Brown versus Greg Hayes, case number SC240128. While the hearing is ongoing, we're going to walk everybody through the process for cases when they do proceed to hearing. So please listen up. But then also, if it's the case that during the course of, if it's not your hearing, please put yourself on mute, but just be ready to respond when called upon. But this time we are going to go forward with the Brown versus Hayes case. And we're going to explain procedurally everything that's going to happen. With regard to the case, Ms. Brown, in this case, you have presented, you filed the lawsuit. This is your case. You will present testimony first, and then Mr. Hayes will have an opportunity to respond. Also, while the hearing is ongoing, please allow each side to present testimony uninterrupted. If anything comes up during the course of testimony on which you have a question or you want to make a comment, please hang on to that thought until it's your opportunity to be heard, and we promise everybody gets an opportunity to be heard. Also, while the hearing is ongoing, each side is entitled to be aware of any information or evidence that is presented. And we will go over that during the course of the hearing and take testimony. Also, once the hearing is concluded and the court has rendered its decision, if either party is dissatisfied with today's result, they have 7 days from today's date to make their appeal. And the folks in the civil division of our court can walk you through the process of the appeal and how to effect the appeal. Very shortly here with our parties, where we're going to proceed, we're going to swear in both parties and begin to take testimony. Again, as the court indicated, Ms. Brown is the plaintiff. She filed the lawsuit, so she has the burden of proof, and will present testimony first. And then Mr. Hayes, when she is concluded with her testimony, you'll have an opportunity to respond, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, for Ms. Brown and Mr. Hayes, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to give will be the truth? Ms. Brown, yes?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Hayes, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, thank you both. All right, Ms. Brown, just as a summary, the court sees that you filed a lawsuit indicating that the basis for the cause of action was between October 5, October 21, October 28, 2020. Suing for $1,280, and it's with regard to a number of home improvements to be made to a residence with regard to quotes for work on a garage, as well as plumbing, and again, various home improvements on a home. And also, let the record reflect, you did submit to the court for the court's review to the file a number of receipts with regard to payments made for the various services, including plumbing, garage gutter repair or work on a gutter, as well as gate and fence. And the total for the amount of damages, as you indicated, that the work was not done or not done properly. And you're suing in the amount of $1,000. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, okay, we're getting some audio interference. There's a telephone ringing.
Yes. Hold on. Okay, you can continue.
Okay. So here's the thing. Again, because we have the added elements of Zoom, please refrain from any additional anything that can add to the audio, because we are in the hearing at this time. So here's what we're going to do. Ms. Brown, if you can just give us an overview of what happened, because you also did submit photographs with regard to gutter work, and you submitted photographs of the garage and the garage area, as well as expenses that you've made for repair of a fence. And ma'am, if anything, would you like to add to that with regard to sorry, first of all, to start, if you can just give us an overview of the items that Mr. Hayes was supposed to repair.
Okay. Well, when he first initially came, I had him to do work on my garage, which was to replace the gutters in front of the garage, and also put another piece up under it once he finished with that. But the initial job, he gave me he quoted me, I think it was 475, which I was good with that. That included the labor and the material. I was good with that. But he, after he finished that portion of the garage, he actually tacked on more money. He actually lowballed the job and then added more money onto it, right? And he never would want to submit a receipt to me or how much he paid for the material in order for me to give him my money. I expressed to him that I need to know how much you're paying out on my behalf. He had issues with that, in which I have trust issues, with contractors taking advantage of me for that very reason. But anyway, moving on, I had it.
Okay, so the court's taking notes. So I mean, every once in a while, I mean, you're giving a good narrative, but every once in a while, I'm going to stop. We're just going to take a quick pause because I'm taking notes. So initially, for the gutter work this is gutter work for the garage, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and he gave you a quote of $475, correct?
Yes.
Okay, then you also indicated that after that, there were other expenses added on. Can you give some examples, or do you have any numbers that you can indicate, like what it was beyond the 475 and just
I think it was $160. Judge, I'm out of town. I'm up in the mountains right now. This is a very big inconvenience for me. So I don't have none of my paperwork with me. All I have is the judgment that you guys the court mailed me. So I'm not looking at everything that you have that I sent to the court, you see.
Okay, well, Ms. Brown, because you're saying again, the court apologizes for the inconvenience, because we did discuss this before the other party joined us. If it is the case that you would prefer, we can adjourn this, and then there'll be an opportunity for you to have all of your paperwork in front of you.
Now, this is the third time, and I have other things that's going on. Okay, I submitted everything. This is actually on the 26th of April. I had submitted my documentation, but the courts rescheduled it to, the 26th of March. They end up rescheduling it to the 16th because the court could not locate the information that I sent. And I really don't want to keep adjourning this. I need to have this to be over with. This is stressful.
Ms. Brown, the court
Your Honor.
appreciates it.
Your Honor.
Sir.
Your Honor, when you finish, may I say something to what you just said
Stand by.
about the paperwork?
Okay, here's the thing. Stand by, everybody. Ms. Brown, the reason why the court brought it up was because you indicated that you were out of town, you didn't have the paperwork in front of you, so the court was simply offering you the opportunity to set this for a different date when you can have the paperwork in front of you. It's your choice, because this is your case, so that's why the court wanted to extend that to you, so you have an opportunity to make a decision on whether you wanted to proceed today, or if you wanted to wait until a day that you would have your paperwork in front of you. It's your choice.
Okay, whatever work out for the best, because I feel like this is so unfair to me, because had they notified me shortly after the judgment, I would have brought all the paperwork with me. You see, but I get a call on the day.
Your Honor.
Okay, folks, here's the thing.
Your
One at a
Honor.
time. Mr. Hayes, one at a time, sir. Stand right, please. Ms. Brown, again, this is your case, and the court wanted to extend that to you. And again, the court has extended its apologies to you, but we need to start from here moving forward. So this is your case. If you would like to move forward now, we can do so today.
Yeah, because I needed to be over with. He really put me in a financial ruin because of his inability to perform the work properly and complete.
Okay,
so I need to be over with.
Okay, so noted, Ms. Brown. Stand by. Mr. Hayes, there was something that you wanted to address. Now, we're not necessarily taking proofs right now because this is still her opportunity to present her case. But if there's something preemptively or something that you want to address, you're welcome to do that, but it's going to be very brief. Otherwise, this is still Ms. Brown's opportunity to present her proofs.
Your Honor,
Mr. Hayes?
yes, I'm willing to accept another postponement. But like what she's saying, the paperwork that she's sending you in, you'll see she owed me money. That's why she never did send you the paperwork or the receipts. But it's fine with me if you adjourn it. It's fine with me if you adjourn it to another day because I got the records and everything. I got the records and everything. So,
Mr. Hayes,
if
Mr. Hayes, this is the thing, sir. Everything's being done virtually. This is Ms. Brown's case, and everybody has an opportunity to be heard. Now, just
right.
briefly, what documents are you indicating? Because here's the thing, among the things that she brought up when she initially started her testimony, that she did make a point of saying that with regard to the gutter, you paid her $75, but then there were other expenses that came up in the course of that project, and when she asked you for additional information or receipts about what the expenditures were, that they were not forthcoming, you did not present them. But today, now that we're in court, now you're saying that you have things that you want to present. So let's narrow it down to one thing. First of all, yes or no, do you have documentation or receipts for expenditures for the gutter project? Yes or no?
I got all the receipts of the work and everything that I did. The part that she's telling you on the on the gutters.
Mr. Hayes, one
Yes,
thing.
ma'am.
One question is that put to you. Do you have receipts? Start with one thing specifically. Receipts for the gutter, yes or no?
Yes, I have a receipt for the gutters.
And
you should have them too. Everything is sent to the court.
Okay, but Mr. Hayes, the question is this. Why is it that when Ms. Brown asked you for that paperwork, she was indicating that you did not give her that information?
I didn't hear you ask me about the paperwork. I just heard what she said, and I was stating to you, all my paperwork was sent to the court.
Okay, but Mr. Hayes, let's back up. Before we report, the question is,
I can hardly hear you. That's what I'm saying, Your Honor. I can understand some of it, what you're saying, but I can't understand everything that you're asking me.
Okay, couple things. Mr. Hayes, stand by.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting some other audio. I think it sounds like a toddler or a child, so if you can put yourself on mute.
Just like now, I'm having a problem understanding and clarifying your words.
Stand by.
They sound like you're muffled. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, Mr. Hayes, it is very helpful if you make use of Zoom, because when you're on the phone, that is going to make audio very challenging.
Oh, okay. I understand. In other words, I should have been on Zoom where you can actually see my face and things.
That is correct, Mr. Hayes. And
okay.
Also be advised that the question that the court has put to you specifically, and I need you to listen before you say anything. The question is, Ms. Brown has indicated that when she asked you during the gutter project for receipts about extra expenses, that you did not provide them to her. Did you hear the question? Did you hear what the court just said? Yes or no?
She's telling you the truth about that, with the explanation that she wanted it on a letterhead.
Well, Mr. Hayes, here's the thing. Stand by. So you're saying that you sent in paperwork, is that correct?
Yes, on the paperwork that I did the gutter work and thing. Then she added the gutter guards. The gutter guards is the only thing that's not on the receipt. And I stated to her that what the gutter guards and everything, costs and everything that I picked up. And she wanted on a letterhead. But before I could submit the letterhead paper and everything with the amount of the money that she owed me on 2 of the receipts that I sent to the court, which is on the letterhead and everything. Then she wanted to know about the fencing thing because she said somebody in her family was causing problems and everything, and she wanted the fence put up right away. So I started on the fence, setting the poles and everything, without giving her the receipt for the gutter guard and thing, which she said. the gutter guards and everything. That's what she's talking about saying I jacked up the price on the gutters on the garage, and that's
He's
not
not
correct.
being honest. He's not being honest.
Never mind. Mr. Hayes, stand by. Ms. Brown? Okay, we
Yeah,
appreciate the stand by. Okay. Okay, stand by. Everybody, stand by. Okay, Mr. Hayes, quick question to you only about the evidence. We're not taking any proofs, but with regards to what you sent in.
Right. I have the receipt. I have the receipt for the total job of the
Mr.
garage
Hayes,
on a letterhead.
okay, Mr. Hayes, stand by. You say you sent it into the court.
I'm having trouble hearing you again, Your Honor.
Okay, again, Mr. Hayes, it would be extremely.
These people already. I didn't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, okay, again, be mindful that you're on Zoom. Any talking off
I
screen.
should still be able to show it to us.
Somebody else is talking, Your Honor. Somebody else is talking while you talking.
Okay, we have, okay, that should make it a little bit easier. All right, stand by. Okay, that should help. All right. Mr. Hayes, when did you send in your paperwork to the court?
I sent my paper in yesterday morning.
what?
Okay, sir, that's, okay, here's the thing, sir. When you do that, there's not enough time to get that into the file, because here's the other thing. Ms. Brown is entitled to see that paperwork before we get the hearing. She's entitled to see that.
Man,
What's that, ma'am?
Mr. Hayes,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Brown is entitled to see that paperwork that you submitted. If you submitted it yesterday, there's not enough time to get her that paperwork.
mm, mm, mm. He didn't want me to see it. That's why.
What you
Right.
mean I
Ms.
didn't?
Brown?
Miss
Okay,
Miss Smith,
okay,
please.
Mr. Hayes, no, the parties are not going to address each other directly. Stand by. Ms. Brown, here's the thing. You indicated at the opening of your testimony that he did not submit paperwork, and this is an opportunity for you to see that.
Yes.
So, here's the thing. Based on what you've indicated at the top of your testimony, that there were things that you wanted to see that he did not submit. Mr. Hayes is now saying that he has submitted it. However, that would not have been, if it was yesterday, it would not have been enough time to get it for the court to receive it and for you to get it as well, because the court would want to forward that to you so you have it in hand to see it.
Yeah, he should have did that. The paperwork that I am specifically speaking of, Judge, is the material that he purchased on my behalf from the manufacturers. He claimed he had to order this stuff and he had accounts with these companies that were making my material. And I explained to him, but I need to know how much money you spending out on my behalf. Okay, because in order for me to give you money, I need to know how much you paid those people. And he explained to me, I have an account with these companies and they give me a receipt. I explained to him that I'm a businesswoman as well. You need to make your customers satisfied. If they give you a copy of what you gave to them on my behalf, you should copy that and give it to me. I asked him for that back then. Okay, he could not submit that to me back then. Why
Okay.
now?
Ms. Brown, okay, we'll stand by. Then the question is, do you want to see them, yes or no?
Do I want what?
Do you want to see those receipts and that information, yes or no?
Yes, I guess so, because I know he done doctored on him. He had time to submit his evidence just like I did way in advance, so that he'll have time to look at it. This is a farce with him. He plays games, and I see he's continuing his games.
Okay, well, Ms. Brown, here's what we're going to do, because here's the thing. people either swing with the rope or they injure themselves with it. So Mr. Hayes needs to provide those proofs, and then that way you will have it in hand and you'll have an opportunity to examine that, and that would make a much more effective way for you to present your testimony, because you'll have the benefit of seeing the information. On the other side of that is that Mr. Hayes will have an opportunity to see what you have submitted, and then it would be much more productive, and everybody will be on the same page, and everyone will have access to each other's information. Because Ms. Brown, a lot of what you're indicating is that at the hub of your testimony, you're concerned about this case, and why you filed is because you were dissatisfied with the expenditures. You didn't have any information, and now the information is available. The court wants to forward that to you and make it available to you so that you have it in hand.
Okay, but okay, that's good. And as well, because as the case continue on, you're going to notice that there's other documents, evidence that, okay, like I gave him, he asked me, I gave him 1,400. This is talking about the gate. I asked him, how much do the gate company want for a deposit? He said 1,450. I had no problem shoving him over nothing but hundreds and fifties in cash. Okay. And when I called them, because he wouldn't get back with me and respond to me after he took my cash money, and I called the gate company, in which I never told him that I'd been calling, checking behind him. That's why I know what was going on. They told me, Miss Brown, we only wanted $1,000. He did not give them the whole 1,450. Okay, that is the last thing. So therefore, that left me owing the gate company even more money. And he said I owe him money. This man is not right. Okay.
Okay, and Ms. Brown, here's the thing. Then you are entitled to see that paperwork, because that would make it much more fruitful, because then you'll be more informed. You'll have all the information in front of you. But in order to get that, we're going to do a couple of things. Stand by. We're streaming live to YouTube. We don't want anyone's personal information going out. What we're going to do is Ms. Brown and Mr. Hayes, if you can take down the telephone number, we're going to have you each call the court and provide the court with your email addresses. And we're going to see if we can make arrangements to forward each of your evidence or your proofs that you submitted to one another. So Ms. Brown, you will receive Mr. Hayes' information.
Whoa. Oh, so you're saying that all that information I end up spending over $60 with, re-forwarding it to the court, I need to forward it to him. Is that what you're saying?
Ms. Brown, one, just take it down a couple of notches. The court is trying to facilitate to make sure you get the information that you need. Here's the thing, with small claims, even if, aside from what we're doing now with the emails, each side is entitled to review each other's paperwork. That is what happens in small claims. So the proofs that you submitted, Mr. Hayes is entitled to see. Same thing that Mr. Hayes, anything that he has submitted, you are entitled to see. That is how small claims works.
Okay, I understand that, but he had ample enough time to review mine, because I submitted mine shortly after you rescheduled. Okay, he dragged his feet like he was doing with my work on my house so that he could doctor the stuff up. I know this man has been doing some shady stuff, because he even tried to impose some shady dealings on me, and I would not go for it. So God gonna get him for what he's doing to me. That's all I got.
Ms. Brown, so now that we have a consensus on that, again, so that you have the benefit of being able to see anything that he sends, please, both parties take down the telephone number, stand by for the number.
Let me get something right quick. Hold up.
965-2567.
Your Honor.
Scam artists.
Mr. Hayes, stand by, sir. Stand by.
2567.
Scam folks.
Ms. Brown, let us know when you're ready, ma'am.
I'm ready.
Okay, the telephone number is 313-965-2567. And what we're going to ask each of you to do is put yourselves on mute, or if you want us to put you on mute, we can do that, because we don't want your personal information. We're streaming live to YouTube. We don't want anybody getting your personal information, but we do want you to call the courtroom and give us your email addresses so that we can make arrangements to forward your information to each party so that each party has the other's proofs that they would submit for the hearing.
Okay, so you want me to call the court right now while we're on Zoom?
Yes, ma'am, we can do that. Now, we can put you on mute now, or the alternative, because here's the thing. In order for everybody to get their paperwork, let me ask you this, Ms. Brown. If we were able to forward you the information today or very shortly, do you have the ability to retrieve that information and look at it online? Like if we send it to you in an email?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Hayes, same question to you. For the information that came from Ms. Brown, once you give your email address, are you going to be able to review that? Because that, I mean, basically the ability to review the information today depends on, it has, it basically determines how far we get today.
The only paper that I did to send you that I could say everything is there, and then what she was referring to about the gate, about the $400 and something, that's on the receipt that she still has that due. So what she was saying to you that I tried to cheat her, that's not the case. It's on the receipt and everything.
Okay, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, we're not, Mr. Hayes, we're not discussing that. The court specifically asked you one thing.
You asking me?
Mr. Hayes,
okay,
no, Mr. Hayes, we're not discussing anything about the case. The question is, we're trying to make sure that each side gets their paperwork.
Yes,
so
it's filed.
Paper she submitted. The question is, sir, once you send your email address and the court is able to forward you that information, are you going to be able to receive it? Because we can either move forward with it today if we can get that exchange of information between the parties. So we're not talking about what did or did not happen. We're only talking about making sure everybody gets their paperwork. So the question is, we're going to have you call the court. Are you going to be able to receive that information today, yes or no?
Okay, you say when you say about emailing the court, just muffled again.
Mr. Hayes, you're going to call the telephone number that we gave you. You're going to give this or email address.
Okay, the number that number is I want to make sure I got it wrote down right. The number is 9229-965-2567.
No, sir. The area code is 313.
Okay, I got that now. 965-2567.
That is correct.
Okay.
So the next question is, the court is going to look to email you Ms. Brown's information, and then, okay, let's back up. Mr. Hayes, when you turned in that information yesterday, how did you turn that information in? Did you email it to the court?
Yes, I think it's there. If not, I can give it to you.
What do you mean you can give it to us?
Okay, that's Greg Hayes.
No, Mr. Hayes, no. We're going to have, we don't want you giving out personal information. We're streaming live to YouTube. We want you to call the courtroom and give us your email address. Do you understand?
Oh, okay. I got you now.
So the next question is, when you give us that email address and we email you the paperwork, are you going to be able to retrieve it today? Yes or no?
Okay.
Mr. Hayes, you need to answer the question, not say okay. Do you understand what I'm asking you?
Yes, ma'am.
So the question is, if we email you the information, are you going to be able to retrieve it today? Yes or no?
As soon as I get back to my office. You out of town?
What that got to do with you, Mr. Hayes?
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. The court specifically indicated the court is trying to conduct a hearing. There is not going to be a discussion between the parties. Is that clear, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Brown, is that clear, madam?
Yes, and he's just keep pricking at me.
No,
He already.
Ms. Brown, we're not engaging in that. It stops now. It does not advance the argument. It does not advance the case on either side. Because if it is the case that the parties are not going to comply with what the court has indicated about how we're going to conduct hearings, we're going to pass on this, you can wait, and we're going to take care of other cases. Is that clear, Mr. Hayes? Mr. Hayes?
Ma'am,
Ms. Brown, is that clear? No more interruptions.
Oh,
no, I
yes.
didn't hear what I didn't hear what you were saying, Your Honor. That's why I didn't say, oh, yes, ma'am, and things. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line is, and I'm addressing this to Mr. Hayes and Ms. Brown. The court had indicated when we first started how we were going to proceed. Interruptions do not advance your position on the case. It only slows things down. If anything comes up during the course of testimony on which you have a comment or you have a question, hang on to that thought, and each side will have an opportunity to respond. But interruptions will not be tolerated. Do you understand, Mr. Hayes? Yes or
I had
no?
a court date today. I'll be right with you.
Mr. Hayes,
Yes, ma'am.
do you understand that the court will not tolerate any interruptions?
I understand what, ma'am?
Stand by. Ms. Brown, here's what we're going to do.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. I can
Yes?
hear you. Here's what we're going to do. The court is going to take a pause. We're going to we're going to put you both on mute. You're going to both call the courtroom, give us your email addresses, and we're going to work on forwarding each side the other party's paperwork. So stand by, please. Mr. Hayes, we're going to
Yes,
put you on
ma'am.
mute. We're going to put you on mute. You're going to call the courtroom, give us your email address. Ms. Brown, same thing. We're going to put you on mute. We're going to have you call the courtroom. Thank you both. Stand by.
You hear that?
All right. Okay, we have partners checking in on McIntosh and Scarborough. Do we have McIntosh in the room still?
Yes, this Scarborough right here.
Okay, hi, Ms. Scarborough, we see you. Okay, and Ms. McIntosh, I see you. Ms. McIntosh, if you can unmute. Okay, thank you both. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to proceed. Looks like we have service. And we're going to proceed on this matter.
Hold on one second.
This is McIntosh versus Scarborough. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Ms. McIntosh, this is your case. I'm going to start with you. And again, procedurally, we're just going to go over that briefly. We're going to proceed to the hearing. Ms. Scarborough, you have the burden of proof, so you're going to present testimony first, and then Ms. McIntosh will have an opportunity to respond. Also, while the hearing is ongoing, please allow each side to present testimony uninterrupted. If anything comes up during the course of testimony on which you have a question or wish to make a comment, please hang on to that thought until your opportunity to be heard, and everyone will have an opportunity to be heard. Also, while the hearing is ongoing, again, no interruptions, because it just creates delays. And then once the hearing is concluded, if the party is dissatisfied with today's result, they have 7 days from today's date to make their appeal. And the folks on the in the civil division will walk you through the process of making the appeal. We've got both parties sworn in, and Ms. McIntosh assumed Ms. Scarborough for $425, indicating the cause of action was January 29, 2021, indicating that you paid Ms. Alicia Scarborough to get plates and tags on January 29, 2021.
Yes.
You have not received the plates or the tags. Further, that she's paying car insurance for a vehicle to which she does not have plates or tags. And the temporary registration that she used expired on February 13, 2021, and then essentially makes her unable to make use of the vehicle because the vehicle does not have its proper updated tags. So Ms. McIntosh, that's what is in the body of the affidavit and claim.
Yes.
What Ms. McIntosh has submitted to the court is a receipt for purchase sold as is for a 2001 Buick Century. She's also submitted to the court the registration paperwork for the vehicle, as well as paperwork with regard to insurance for automobile insurance for that 2001 Buick, as well as title information, as well as what appears to be a screenshot of a text message indicating it appears to be from a telephone number ending 4724, indicating I'm pretty sure I can get this title cleaned up. I just don't know how long that will take. I will be calling you tomorrow to refund you. And it appears that that was on Sunday, March 7th. As well as additional screenshots of text messages. Okay, and Ms. McIntosh, just again briefly, you've submitted your proofs and the court has pretty much covered the basics of what you submitted to the court. So was this a purchase of it? I mean, what was the situation? You purchased a vehicle, Ms. McIntosh?
Yes, I purchased a vehicle from J. Perry at another car lot, but he sent me down to her for she to get my license plates and tags. So I sent my husband in because I had just had my son. I had a C-section. So I sent Timmy in to pay her so she could get my license plate and tags. And I never received them. And then, and just in that case, I had that's a prior case that was yesterday. I had won that case, and they have to refund me my money because I never received the title for the car. They have it now, but that's usefulness because it's May now, and I had to purchase another car. So that led me at a financial loss because I had to purchase another vehicle. So then with her, I paid her the $425. I never received the license plate or the tags. So
Okay, let the court, okay, I'm sorry, just very briefly. So who is Ms. Scarborough in relation to the purchase of this vehicle?
I believe they're Quaylen Associates. I really can't tell you.
So to your knowledge, Ms. Scarborough was the point person with, okay, stand by. All right. So how did you pay the $400? What is the $425? What is that exactly? What is that expense?
That was for the, I gave it to my husband. That was for the
license plate and tag. And she assured us that we would have it in 5 business days, ma'am. And as a result, she called us on February 22nd and informed us that Secretary of State did not accept the title. So it's going to be a problem with the registration.
Okay. And Ms. McIntosh or Mr. McIntosh, if either of you can answer this question again. You're saying that you purchased the vehicle, the person, the business from where you purchased the vehicle, they sent you to Ms. Scarborough?
Yes. And that's where the text messages, you will see one dated, it say 13400, Exhibit B. That is Chris. That is one of the defendants that was in the case yesterday that lost.
Aaron
Moon. He referred us to Felicia.
Okay, so just to back up, exactly, was this a second place of business, or where did you go to give Ms. Scarborough this money for the plate?
I went to 13400 Gratiot Avenue and gave her the money cash,
Is that-
hand in hand, in her
Okay,
office.
stand by. When you say, okay, you're, okay, so this was a place of business?
Yes.
Do you know the name of this business? Was there like a
Auto
name?
sale. Pinnacle Auto Sales.
Did you get a receipt for that $425?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe we do.
Yeah, that.
This right here. We
So-
got, she gave me this Exhibit D. She handed me Exhibit E, which
Okay,
is
and that's
temporary registration.
Okay, so that's a statement of registration, statement of vehicle sale.
Right,
I see.
dated mind you, Your Honor, it's dated 1/29/2021, but we have the actual receipt purchase of the car sold as is on 1/27/2001, signed by J. Perry, another dealer.
Okay, and the court does see that the registration paperwork is signed at the bottom by Felicia Scarborough as the dealer's agent. And then you're saying that how many days later did Ms. Scarborough contact you about the issue with the title?
A week or two, she told us that there was a problem with the title. Their Secretary of State was not accepting it. We end up contacting Jay Perry, the prior defendants in yesterday's case, and Aaron Moon, AKA Chris, the second defendant. He informed me, as you go back to the text messages, you can see that he's Friday, March 5th. He's saying he received this deal this morning. He had the title. That was in March. So if you go back, you can see that pretty much they referred us to her.
Okay, so essentially the
Had
title
no
was,
knowledge of her.
you didn't get a title until March, is that correct?
We still don't have the title.
Well, we won that case. That was yesterday.
We won the case though yesterday in front of Judge, Your Honor, Ramsey, Heath. She informed us that we have that the case will be adjourned to May 20th till we receive the replacement title and take the car back up there to them and refund, and we get our money back because legally they were liable for the problem.
And when she comes in and we pay her the $425, we never received anything from her or a phone call, nothing. It's May now.
Which forced us to buy, we have another car.
And we had to pay for the process, court fee, costs, etc.
And had the officer serve all three defendants.
Okay, stand by. Ms. Scarborough, you've heard testimony from Teresa McIntosh. Your response, ma'am, with regard to what happened with this title?
Well, when Jay sent them down here to me, because they are we have two dealerships. We just opened the one where Jay and them work at. So he sent them down here for me for like, I don't know if his computer was not working or what, I don't know what the case is, but he sent me down here to do, they sent them down here to do their tags and plates. So when I sent this title in to the Secretary of State, and we sent it down there 3 times. They said that it was mutilated and they couldn't process it. And if we sent it down there again, they had to contact the agent. So I informed Jay of this. He came down here and got their file. I don't know if he went to the auction and get it replaced or what, but he got another title. And I processed the paperwork. I got the receipt from the Secretary of State. I have their tag and plate.
When did that arrive?
This arrived on the 27th of
Of
April.
Which month?
And I was communicating with them and with Jay to let
Scarborough,
what the
which month?
Secretary of State was letting me know.
Ms. Scarborough, I need you to listen. which month, what, you said the 27th, what month?
April.
That's not enough time.
And for the $425 that was spent, where did that money go? I mean, what was
That went down to the Secretary of State to pay for their tags and registration and the sales tax that was in it.
And just to clarify, is that a plate and tags for the Buick, or is that for any vehicle, or is that for the vehicle that they had to purchase?
It's for the Buick. The registration, everything, 2001 Buick. I can read you the last four numbers to the VIN number, 3802.
All right, stand by. Ms. McIntosh, back to you. You indicated, the court heard you when you said you ended up getting a second vehicle. Is that correct? You had to end up getting another vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so just to clarify, what, if anything, happened to the Buick?
It's in my driveway. It's been sitting in my driveway.
It's inoperable since February 13th.
And that's why the judge prior.
That's why the judge ordered us to return the car back to them.
And they refund us our money.
And they refund us our money complete.
So you're making, okay, stand by. So you're making, so if the court hears you correctly, the magistrate yesterday adjourned this to a different date, to another date, so that you can return the Buick. Is that correct?
Yes, for refund of our money due to the fact because there was a problem with actual ownership of the car, which is the title. And on top of that, the car has been sitting without tags and registration. We can't drive it. So we're forced to buy a new vehicle, which that puts us in a financial loss. Now, she informed you, the defendant did inform you that she just received it April 27th. We're talking about from February 13th all the way up till April 27th. You just now receiving the tag and the license plate.
And we haven't talked to her since.
And we haven't talked to her since February 22nd. So there's some discrepancy right there.
Okay,
and now
well,
that we have a new car, the judge ordered us to return the car back.
Mr. McIntosh, stand by. Here's the court's concern, because if it's the case that one, there's a case related to this one, the court doesn't necessarily want to step on what's already in place to resolve the issue of the car itself, about the Buick. Because if it's the case that you have another car, have since gotten another car, and the purpose of the adjournment on the other case specifically to the Buick is to return the Buick. Question: what is the next date for the Buick for the case from yesterday? What's the adjourn date?
May 20th at 9:30. We was instructed to return the car.
And they
will
refund
refund us our money
Because it's been too long.
because it's been too long on their end. It's not our fault.
Okay, Mr. McIntosh, stand, I just need you to listen. So on May 20th is when you're going to come back to court. So before the 20th, you plan to have the car back to the dealership. Is that correct?
Yes.
So the tags and plates she has is really useless because we return.
Okay, here's what the court is going to do. The court is going to pretty much parallel what the case from yesterday is going to do, so that both of these kind of travel along at the same time. Had we known, and again, in order to make things efficient, it would have been better for both cases to be with the same magistrate, but this is what we have. The likelihood, I think the most appropriate thing is, because the car is going to go back, so what the contingency is when the car goes back, and then that's what's going to prompt all the rest of this. So if anything, you would get your judgment to get your 425 back, because basically you're taking the car back, and then it'll be on the dealership to deal with whatever they're going to do to resolve the issue with the car and the plate. So the court is going to adjourn this. So that since it's related, they can get that all at the same time. You know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, stand by.
Who's our clerk? I don't know if she's here. Not here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. Court stands in brief recess.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, you know what, they, Kim's small cleaning doctor's on? Thank you.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Thursdays, right?
So it's gonna be May 15th. I just need to adjourn. Okay, the Scarborough and the McIntoshes, here's what we're going to do. The court took an opportunity to contact the magistrate on the other case, and so that she understands that when we do the adjournment on this case, both cases are gonna get adjourned to the May 20th, and then she'll deal with this case on May 20th, depending on what happens with the return of the car, okay? So she'll address it then, but the court wanted to make sure that she was aware of this case, and that we're going to adjourn this so that it parallels what you all are going to be doing with the vehicle itself, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so again, thank you for your patience. Here's what we're going to do. Given the information that you all have presented, Mr. and Mrs. McIntosh and Ms. Scarborough, this particular case is going to get adjourned to 9:30 on May 20th, 2021. In this case, we'll go to Magistrate Ramsey Heath. That's the magistrate that you saw the other day about the Buick. And then that way I spoke with her, let her know that we got the case that is a companion to the Buick case about the car. So she's aware of it. So that way both cases will be on her docket on May 20th, and then she'll be able to address everything at one time, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So just to clarify, make sure we have good mailing addresses for you for the Macintoshes. Again, we're not looking to publish your entire address, just confirm the mailing, the number. You're at the 19176 address, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and in Scarborough, you're at the 13400 address. That's a good address to receive mail.
All right.
Okay, all right, thank you both for your patience and your time. So again, we're going to adjourn this. Everybody come back on May 20th at 9:30 for this case, for both cases, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you both. We are completed at this time.
Just no, I'm about to send off now. Message is sent.
Okay. Parties on CPG Holdings and Tequila Souls.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi. Okay, I appreciate your patience. Court's looking at the paperwork here. Court's going through the file, and we see that there was a certified, there's like the little ticket for the certified mail. To your knowledge, has it come back? Has service been completed?
So I know that the affidavit and complaint was properly served, or I'm sorry, the ticket that I sent was to send everything into the small claims court, and I had paid for them to effect service to the defendant. Okay,
so let's zero in on that. When you say to effect service, did you do a bailiff or did you do the certified mail? Because I see I see the little green receipt here for the certified mail. Do you know whether or not that card came back? Because there might be a service issue here.
Okay, no, I don't know. I don't know if that came back. I believe that the court sent it out.
Okay, well, a couple of things that we're going to address here for you to just kind of think of. One, it looks like it was sent on March 29, and for whatever reason, we do not have that card back in the file. So we need to get some kind of update to find out if they completed service or what's the status of that card. The other thing is, as it goes to the card itself, one thing that we have found out over the last few months is that, again, for nobody, okay, certified mail is available as an option for parties who want to complete service on the defendant. What we have found out is that because of COVID, the U.S. Postal Service on its own implemented a COVID safety protocol for their mail carriers, where it used to be that the mail carrier would present the card to the person, the recipient, they would have the recipient sign the green card, and then we would get that card back. The U.S. Postal Service has changed their protocol, so it's a touchless system. So even if we have not gotten the card back for your case specifically. Secondly, even if we were to receive it back and it turns out that there's no signature on the card for Ms. Souls, that is not sufficient service for purposes of the court filing. It's the case that our court rules that we have to abide by have not caught up with the fact that we're living with COVID. Okay, so that's one thought. So if anything, we're probably going to have you contact the civil division to find out if that card has come back, because right now it's not in our file. I've looked.
Okay, I do want to let you know that I called the civil division multiple times over the previous week to see if they affected service, and when I've called, I've never been able to get a hold of anybody. It just sends me to an automated message and asks me to call back later.
All right, stand by. Stand by. We're gonna see if we can get you another number, because unless or until we have that card back, that's one thing. The other thing is that because of that COVID protocol, that again, it's of no fault of yours, because it's available to you as a service to be able to do certified mail. A second option would be we may have to adjourn this. If we don't have a card back, we may need to adjourn this. One, to either wait for the card and see what happens, or the alternative, you can contact the civil division. We're going to get you a telephone number here in a moment. In order to talk to somebody in the civil division, and you may need to make arrangements for a bailiff or a process server to physically give her the paperwork.
Okay.
The filing. Okay. So on a few levels here. One, we don't have the card back. Take down this number, and we're going to see if we can find out what we can today, and we'll go from there. Let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead.
It's 313.
Yep.
965. 5690.
Okay.
Person you're going to be speaking to is Chuck Jackson.
Okay.
And that would be someone that you can speak to, and find out if the card has come back, and if it has, we'll need to take a look at it and see if it's signed. If it's not signed, then we may need to look at the other option of getting a bailiff or a process server. Process server to serve the person. Because again, over the last several months, it came to our attention that there was an issue with regard to those certified mailings.
Okay.
It's nobody's fault. You did the right thing. It's just that it came up, and we had to find that out. We had to actually actively pursue it, because we were getting a lot of those cards back with no signatures on them. And unfortunately, that doesn't satisfy our court rules that we have to comply with.
I understand. It's just another way that COVID has made things difficult for everyone.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, it wasn't until we found out that the U.S. Postal Service was doing that in order to keep their mail carriers safe, but it does affect us, on the court's end as well as yours. So what we're going to do is, we can pass on this for the time being, and just give us a wave or something and let us know if you, Chuck Jackson, if you have an update. But either way, if we have to adjourn it, we'll do that, and then you can talk to them about your options, about whether or not if you can find out any tracking information about what the status is on the certified mailer, or if you want to just go ahead and make arrangements with a process server, because even if you make an expenditure for the process server, you can still add that in with your court costs. Okay. So you still have that. Just keep your records of your receipt or any expenditures related to getting service completed.
Okay. So just to clarify, I can go on mute, and do you want me to call Mr. Jackson now and see what I can find out and then come back?
Yes, you can call him now, put yourself on mute or whatever, and just kind of give us a wave and let us know, because if we need to adjourn it, we can certainly adjourn it. And then that way it gives you time to either track down the card, find out what the status is on the card, or make arrangements for a processor.
Okay. It sounds good. I will, I'll do that now.
Thank you. And you're saying that they did, you did send it off.
Not here.
At the tone, please leave a message for mailbox number 13135864323. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished recording, press pound. To cancel, press star.
Mr. Hayes, this is Magistrate Sherman at the 36th District Court, calling with regard to the case and the exchange of information on the case that we were having a hearing on this morning. We need you to call the court at 313-965-2567. Thank you. We need to continue with the hearing, sir.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I called Mr. Jackson and got voicemail. So I left him a voicemail. I was wondering if there's a tracking number perhaps on the receipt that you have that I could look up.
Sure, let's take a look. Okay, it's a bit long. Let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead.
7017 2400 0000 0162 5249.
Okay, if I could just repeat that back to you, please.
Sure.
7017 2400 0000 0162 5249.
That is correct.
Okay, great. I'll see if I can find anything out.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Your Honor.
Yes.
So I can see on the USPS website that it was sent certified mail. It was delivered April 8th at 10:31 a.m., though it does not give me any information or a signature card.
But that it was delivered, is that correct?
Correct.
Ms. Tillman? Okay,
Who did you just call? Yes, 56094, that's Mr. Humphries.
hi, good morning, Mr. Humphries, this is Sherman. I'm calling you since one point one with regard to state 212402229. CPG Holdings versus Security Service, with regard to whether or not your office has received the card of service or the updates on the vehicles indicated even online tracking information. It was delivered, but you wanted to make sure that I'm just looking to get status on just something that I can get the result of the service for a while. I'm looking
5972 also. 5972, you call that. Yes.
Hi, Ms. Candace Wilson, how are you today? Thank you kindly, thank you kindly. I'm calling, thank you very much. Calling with a bit of housekeeping here, right, just some things filed like that. I was hoping to track down any updates on service. The person who sent a certified mail, and he used the tracking number just now, and so it wasn't aware that I would find out that we were active, something that I can file with, so I can verify, so I got something to proceed. So we have service and I'm good. I can go, but I just want to find out. Yes, good. Yes. So, and he says tracking information says it's delivered. That we have to have the cards on the file. Okay. Right, and that's my concern about service. Okay, then I'm ready. 1, 2, 4, 5. That doesn't mean I should get to this destination. It's just me. Where is it? So, mm, right. Right. Okay, all right, well, let me, okay, 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 thank you, that's helpful. It's always sort of anything about it. Yeah, we probably just have to figure it out. Delivery to agent means the post office. Okay, all right, thank you very much. Okay. Okay, well, anyway, okay, that was me. Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Goebbels, here's where we are. I talked to, I was able to get a hold of somebody in our civil division, and she went online also with that tracking information. What she found online was that, um, that piece of mail got to the post office, and apparently, bottom line is it would seem that the other party is not accepting it, so the post office is making several attempts to try to get it to them. So she's going to check the mailroom to see whether or not if there's any update on the status of the green card, like we have received it back. So she's going to check and give us a call back. But long term, if depending on what what the condition is of that card, if it's been signed, great, then we can go forward. If it has not been signed, then it puts us back to you may need to talk to the civil division again about arrangements for a process server who can actually get it to her. Because again, for any number of reasons, there might be concerns about the card itself.
Okay,
Okay, so sit tight. She's gonna check and see if we can get an update.
Miss Holland is on the phone
thank
now.
you.
Sorry.
She's on the phone now, Miss Holland, Pam.
Oh, stand by. Hi, Miss Pam. Hi. All right, I'll talk to you. I'm sorry. You're saying that, okay, that's what you're saying. So what do you do because it's not get to it today. All right, so it's like all right, but that's the thing that helps. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Thanks. Okay, Mr. Grubel, here we go. Our contact person in the civil division indicates that the mailroom is still sorting mail, but they're still a couple of days behind, so that's not to say that it's, that the card, if it's there, if it is there, because it's gonna be, because they have not been able to sort through to see whether or not if it's come back, but based on the tracking information, suggests that it has not made it to its destination, meaning that the post office has been making the attempts to get it to this person, but they have not, the person is either not accepting or it has not been finally delivered. Okay, so that, the short answer is we can do an adjournment and you can do one of two things. You can either wait to see if there's an update on the car, like you have the tracking information, you can see if there's an update in the, but with U.S. Postal Service, but whether or not if it's actually made it to its destination and been delivered to Ms. Souls. And or the alternative, you can, or in addition to that, you can contact the civil division and make arrangements for a process server. And then that way you have a live body who will be responsible for actually getting it physically to that person.
Yeah, I think I'll use a process server.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Court's going to take a look at how long you have for the affidavit and see if we need to do anything with that first.
Case number.
It's the 21240 229. Because for the affidavits in the file, there's no expiration date for the affidavit section. Make sure we're not going to be looking to do that. Expiration.
Anything else is 326. Did you have it already? Is that it? All right, thanks.
Yes. Doesn't say.
Doesn't say. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Hi, Ms. Wilson. Yes, sorry. Question. Hi, I'm going to turn this over to the server and we'll wait for the court. But the question is, looking at the file and on the file, the expiration date that we're going to It's SC 212 4022. Yes. Okay, what I just want to make sure I was running to an expiration to the affidavit. Okay, I guess, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Jones, here's what we're going to do. We are going to adjourn this. We're going to give it, do you think you'll be able to get it done within 2 weeks or be able to make contact with the court? And we can get an update going in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's look at 2 weeks. Your affidavit is not expiring until June 25th. The court wanted to make sure that any adjournments wouldn't run into the expiration. That's not an issue. So that leaves the way clear to set it for a couple of weeks. Okay, we can do, okay, well, it doesn't necessarily matter, but we can stick with June 21 or June 28. I'm sorry, May 21 or May 28.
Okay. Let's try May 21.
Okay, and just to clarify, you're still at the 1191 address?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, we're going to forward this to you. Thank you very much for your patience. And that way you can make arrangements for a process server to complete that, and you have enough time to get it done. So okay. Thank you, we're concluded. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks for the updates.
Thank you. And I'm sorry if I could just ask a clarifying question.
Sir.
Do I need to wait until I receive the mail of the updated information to call to schedule the process server, or can I get started on that right away?
No, because it's already going to be in the system. So you don't have to wait for your hard copy of the adjournment. It's already going to be in the system.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, and you said.
Yes, they received the email. They should have.
Okay. For whatever reason, you can call this telephone number that we have again, but this person is not.
What number do you have?
The number in the system is 586-4323. Do you have another number?
I have another number where you called me from to give me the email. It's 313-999-2261.
You have reached Greg. Please leave me a message. At the tone.
Mr. Hayes, this is Magistrate Sherman at the 36th District Court, calling with regard to the case that was in hearing. And we paused on this to allow the parties to receive paperwork on each side. You've since received by email that you provided to the court information presented that was in the file. Please call the court at 313-965-2567. The hearing is still ongoing. If you fail to appear or make your appearance to this court, we will proceed accordingly. Thank you. Hi, Mr. Hayes. This is Magistrate Chairman at the 36th District Court. Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we wanted you to call back, so we've got you on speakerphone, and Ms. Brown is still on Zoom. Have you since received the information that we emailed to you? Use the email address you provided to the court.
I'm on my way back. I explained to the court I wasn't at home, but I'm on my way back to the house now.
Mr. Hayes,
When
how,
they checked me, when the objective, when the judge asked me about the email and information and everything to call Zoom, I told her I wasn't at the office, but I was heading back to the home. But I'm heading back to the office now. When I called in to give them my email and stuff so they could send me everything on it. But I'm on my way back to my office now.
okay, Mr. Hayes, we need to proceed on this. How long, when you say that, the court has no idea what you're talking about. How long are you talking about?
I'm talking about 45 minutes. I'll be back at my home.
How long?
45 minutes. I'll be back at my home.
All right, court stands in recess until noon. Sir, you need to contact the court. This 999-2261 number, the court will give you a call at noon. And here's the thing, sir. We are going to proceed on this case one way or another. If you fail to respond, or if you do not appear, or if you do not make yourself available to this court's jurisdiction, we're going to proceed as needed. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be back. I'll be there. Call and everything.
All right, at this time, we are concluded until 12 noon. Thank you, sir. Hang on, Ms. Brown.
Hello?
Hi, Ms. Brown, we can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Mr. Sanford, during the break, emailed each party the paperwork from each side, and the court reached out to Mr. Hayes with the telephone number. You may or may not have heard that, but the court called him specifically to tell him that he needs to be available. He's indicating that he's en route to a place where he can retrieve that the documents that were emailed. And you're welcome to stay on until 12 noon. He said 45 minutes. The court's going to stick with that. The court's going to reach out to him at 12 noon. And if he fails to appear, then we're going to proceed accordingly. That's it.
Okay, yes, I will hold on, but listen, I checked my emails and I got everything that I submitted to the court, but I don't see what he said he submitted to the court. They didn't send it to me.
Okay, well, Ms. Brown, just be advised that anything that was in the file that we received, that's what we forwarded to each side. So if he submitted something, great. If not, that's fine. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but we're proceeding on this at 12 noon.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We're going to put you on mute, okay?
okay.
Yes, ma'am. Hi, Ms. Jones, Melissa, again. I thank you so much for helping me on the question. Thank you. I have another question on the other one. There's one where the underlying cases, so we have like email proofs for a case. I have a case number. That's what we have in the file. It's doesn't reflect what it says it's sent. So I just wanted to kind of confirm what we said it. You said it for one, you said it emailed yesterday. And I have to use it. SC 212 212 401 2. No, that I don't know. That's based on my conversation with him. He insisted that he sent it yesterday. Let me see, this is the research based on personal relevance. So I just looked up today. Okay, well, thank you. But I'm still, just to clarify, I didn't see anything with that case number other than last year. Because the plaintiff submitted. But